If you're a realtor looking to close more deals organically from your website, I'm going to walk you through a case study of how one of my agents closed a $1.3 million house off market to a buyer who came through one of our websites looking for information on a specific suburb. I want to share my frameworks and a couple things that made this article successful so that you can create content buyers and sellers love and sell more houses. My name's Jacob, and on this channel, I talk about how to do SEO and YouTube content for real estate so you can get more traffic, get more leads, and close more deals. Let's get right into it. First things first, the way that I create content for real estate websites is by creating well-written, researched, thorough, and highly nuanced articles, and really focusing on the core areas where we do business. This is not from creating listing pages or open house lists like a lot of realtors put on their website, so I'm going to walk you through this. When it comes to creating any kind of buyer guide or seller guide, we're talking about informational blogs on your website, I recommend starting by picking 3 core areas that you want to focus on. These should be areas that you know very well. You do a lot of business there. Maybe you live in one of them. You know people there. You understand the intricacies and the nuance in these areas. So for this real estate team, we made an article about a lake community. It's a very nuanced area with a lot of rules, restrictions, unique features, and amenities that make it completely different from the areas around it. Now, not every area you're going to talk about is going to be like that, but the more nuanced and the more specific details you can find about an area, the better. Now, this article gets about 150 visitors a month, so nothing too crazy, and it's about 1,700 words long. So we're not talking about a whole dissertation. For this real estate team in particular, we have some articles on their site that are 1,000 to 2,000 words, and we have some that are more like 3,000 to 5,000 words. It just depends. Make your content as thorough and detailed as it can be, without getting fluffy and redundant. Now, when you choose a core area, I recommend creating content on that area from a few different angles. So 2 content frameworks I always like to start with will be living in blank and sell my house in blank. These are your pretty typical buyer guide and seller guide for this part of town. Some other frameworks you can use are new homes in, buying a house in, and best neighborhoods in. These are just types of content you can use across multiple areas that will get searched and drive traffic to your website. Now, like I said, you really want to add as much detail and nuance as you can to these articles. Use a tool like Also Asked, type in the area you're making a guide for, and see all the different questions that people ask about it online. Now, not every question is going to be worth discussing in your article, but use these questions as a starting point to get an outline of the article. Also, take a look at Reddit, Quora, check out the Nextdoor app, or look at Facebook groups in this community to see what people are talking about or asking about as far as different neighborhoods go, the real estate market, new developments, anything that would be relevant to you to make content for buyers or sellers. So for this article, some things we talked about are, first of all, just a general overview, the location, the history, what this area is known for, and why it's such a popular lake community. We had a big section on the community association, which is the owners association for this whole area. We have a section on amenities and lake rights. So how to become a member, social clubs and activities the association has, the clubhouse. We had a section on rules and regulations here because there are a lot of specific rules in this community, like how big of a boat you can have, the speed limits for being on the lake, rental restrictions, you can't have a fenced-in backyard. Those are just some examples of the nuanced things we talk about. And then we had a whole big section about waterfront homes because the waterfront market is a little bit different from homes that are not on the water. And this section right here is actually how we got a lead from this article. We talked about our own experience as a real estate team and the fact that a lot of waterfront homes are actually sold off the market. In this article, I tried to show that this real estate team has something valuable to offer because they know everyone in town. They have a really big network of past clients and other agents, and that's how they source deals off market. And when we asked this client, hey, why did you decide to work with us and what did you like about our website? They said they liked our information on waterfront homes and they thought that this team was the right group to work with because they had something unique to offer, their network of off-market homes. And that's exactly what they did. They sold this person a $1.3 million home completely off-market. Now, when you're writing your article, make sure to use a tool like Rankability. I'm a big fan of it because this will help you capture all of the relevant keywords. And these keywords are important because that's how you will make sure your content is as relevant as possible when competing against the existing content that is currently ranking on Google. So you want to touch on the same topics that other articles discuss that are currently ranking, but you always want to try to see what kind of unique angle you have and what kind of original information you can share that no one else has. And you want to leverage your own experience that no one else can talk about because they're not you. So talk about your experience with past clients, trends you notice in this area, and all of the little things that might make one neighborhood unique from others or just different from the neighborhoods next to it. Write your content in a conversational tone, speak directly to the reader. I like to use you and your a lot, so I'm talking to the person who's reading. If you want more tips on how to actually write your content to get leads, I have another video on that up here. Definitely check that out. It's more about how to write compelling content and use good copywriting so that you get more leads. Now, let's talk about visuals because the visuals you use are very important, and especially in real estate, there's a lot that you can show someone in your content rather than just tell them. You could absolutely have an article that's 100% just text on a page, but it's not going to do as well as an article that has some visual elements to it. We take our own drone pictures. Since there aren't very many good pictures of the areas we do business in online, we actually rank with our images if you go to Google Images, and that's one way we also get traffic to our website. I'm a big fan of infographic maps. We make our own graphics, sometimes completely from scratch, and sometimes we'll just find an old infographic from the city itself that is outdated or it's just not very well done, and we'll kind of take that and just put our own spin on it. We've also got a YouTube video in this article because we have a video talking about this lake community, and that's a great way to build that relationship with someone because having them watch you on video is a much better way to build a connection than just having them read the words you wrote on a page. Now, if you're thinking this sounds a little bit overwhelming, this article did not start out as polished as it is now. I mean, back in the beginning, it was probably about 1,000 words and had a couple images here or there. But here's the thing, once it started to rank, get traffic, and actually get leads coming in, I decided to go back and revamp it by investing more in our visuals, like making infographics and making a YouTube video to go along with this article. So it doesn't have to be 100% there right out of the gate, but once you start to see signals like the page is getting more traffic, it's ranking better online, that's when you can go back and add more to it to make it even better. And by the way, if you have any questions or confusion about any of this, feel free to just holler at me, text or email. I would love to hear from you if you're watching this video. Now let's talk about calls to action because these are very important when it comes to actually getting business from your content. So throughout articles, I will sometimes do what I call a subtle call to action, which is what you saw on the waterfront section of this article. That's just a quick and simple, hey, don't hesitate to contact us if you're in the market for a waterfront home. It's nothing too salesy or over the top. It's just a simple, hey, we're here to help if you want to work with us. And then sometimes I will include a heavier call to action, which is more like an actual pop-up in the article directly saying, hey, are you looking for a home in Lake St. Louis? We can help with that. Click the button. It takes them to a separate lead form they can fill out so we get their information, get to know them a little bit, and then have one of our agents reach out to them to start that process. Now, from lead submission to closing is going to be across the board with every lead, but this one was actually a pretty quick one. So the lead came in as a form on our website on July 12th. They wrote an offer and they were under contract July 28th. And then they were closed and funded on August 31st. So less than 2 months from the lead coming in to closing is really, really good. But I'm not going to lie, sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's longer. And that is where your follow-up with these website leads becomes very, very important. Now, when the article is done, it's published on your website, it's getting traffic, the work doesn't stop there. You always want to be getting feedback on your content. When you have leads coming in, you're working with clients that came through your website, always try to ask, how did you find us? What were you looking for online? What resonated with you in the content you read on our website? And what's missing? What can we add? What can make it better? And use those insights your clients give you to create new content or improve existing content. Because chances are, if someone read your article and they still had questions about it, other people will too. And as great as it is to have a lead like this coming from one article of our website, I don't want just one article crushing it. I want to make 10, 20, 30 articles like this across all of our core areas so that we're dominating the search results. We're capturing as many visitors to our website that are looking for those core areas and turning those leads into successful closings. And as great as it is that you're out there selling real estate in the real world, don't forget about the digital real estate that your website has with those rankings. Because if you can create compelling content and rank for the areas you do business, that's a gold mine of potential buyers and sellers that can come to your website organically all hours of the day. And the more articles like this you create, the more it compounds year over year and pays you dividends. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, let me know down below. Outside of that, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next video.